Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel, RV Tips from Jan. Today's subject, why I picked the Ford Ranger over the F-150 to tow my Surveyor 25 FKS. First of all, a little bit of information about our RV. It is a Forest River Surveyor, 25-foot box, front kitchen, with a slide out. Overall length of the trailer is 28 feet 6 inches. And the dry weight is about 5,600 pounds. Loaded, we're somewhere around 6,600 pounds. The hitch weight, or tongue weight if you will, is about 600 pounds. We do have a self-leveling anti-sway hitch that we use on the truck, and that certainly is important and makes a big difference when towing an RV of this size. Now, a question you're going to ask right up front is, why wouldn't you go with the F-150? It's a heavier truck, has more capacity rating for towing, and certainly is very tow-worthy of an RV. Well, for our particular needs, it turned out that the Ranger has been a perfect fit. And I hope that you'll agree when we get to the conclusion of this video that we made the right decision. And for us, in our particular situation, the Ranger really was the right choice. So let me go down some numbers with you. When we compared the 2021 Ford Ranger to the 2021 Ford F-150, we made sure that we were looking at similar trim packages. That is, both were super crew cabs, short bed, 4x4 XLT with the tow package. Now here's where things start getting really interesting. The delivered cost of the Ford Ranger was about $37,000. The delivered cost of the F-150 was about $48,000. So we were going to need to see some pretty significant benefits to offset that $11,000 upcharge to go with the F-150. Then we looked at some of the specifications related to the two trucks to help us make our final decision. First of all, the engine on the Ranger is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder. The engine on the standard F-150 is a 3.3 liter V6. Now you can certainly get larger engines. We picked the basic package to compare apples to apples. Horsepower, 270 horsepower with this particular engine. It really does a great job. This engine, 290 horsepower. Payload capacity, 1,550 pounds versus 1,765 pounds. Certainly an edge there for the F-150. And towing capacity, 7,500 pounds, and again with this particular configuration, 8,200 pounds. Now you can get a Ford F-150 configured up to 12,000 pounds of towing capacity. For this particular exercise, again, we wanted to look at apples to apples to make sure we were making a favorable comparison. That's why we looked at this particular trim package, this particular engine, and this particular configuration. Now, in terms of some of the other differences that we really focused on over and above this big difference here in cost was the overall size of the two trucks. Unquestionably, you know, the F-150 is 21 inches longer, 6.5 inches wider. It's 400 pounds heavier. It's certainly a great truck to use as a tow vehicle. In our situation, though, we wanted a truck that was going to also comfortably fit in our garage. And in our garage, like many of you, we have our snow blower. We live in the Midwest, upper Midwest. We have our lawnmower, bikes, electric power generator, gas generator. All these things are stored. And the first thing my wife and I realized as we were looking at the trucks is a lot of that's going to have to go if we buy the F-150. The other thing that we considered was how we're going to use the truck. We are occasional RVers. We're not full-time retirees who are traveling 6 months out of the year. If we were, we definitely would have gone with the F-150, but we are not. We are weekend campers. We may go away for a week. We typically travel 300 to 400 miles within our home location. And so for us, that was a determining factor that really helped us to lean more towards the Ford Ranger than the F-150. The other factor, quite frankly, was this, and that is we do live in the upper Midwest. In all likelihood, the Ford F-150 was going to have to sit outside on the driveway because we didn't have a place to put all these things that we store in the garage. And I wasn't looking forward to going out there in the middle of the winter and dealing with the snow and ice on the F-150. The Ford Ranger fits perfectly in our garage without any change in what we already have laid out in there. That was a big plus for us. So really the determining factors that led us to pick the Ranger was the cost difference of $11,000 plus the size difference, being able to fit it in our garage and not have to park it out on the driveway. And then finally, matching it to our particular needs as to how we're going to use a truck. The Ford Ranger is a great truck. Ford has done a great job reintroducing that truck. It's fun to drive around the city. You don't feel like you're in a great big truck when you're driving around the city in the Ford Ranger. And I guess in the final analysis, the question is, how does it handle the RV on the road? And it handles it magnificently. We've taken a number of trips with it. We have no issues as we're going down grades. It has that engine braking feature with the tow package. It has plenty of horsepower going up hills. We feel very, very safe towing our Surveyor 25 FKS with the Ford Ranger. And I will share with you, we're not a couple that likes to drive along at 75 miles an hour or more. We typically like to drive along at about 65 miles an hour on the highway. We're very comfortable with that speed. We're not driving long distances. For us, at that speed, with this particular tow truck, tow vehicle, and our RV, we feel very safe, very comfortable. We've had nothing but good experience. So in the final analysis, that's why we picked the Ford Ranger. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, and most important, please continue to be safe and stay well. Thank you.